Hello, Joan E here. We're learning some things. Want to learn with me? Sure, why not? Do you remember the dab? Well, this little nugget came across my eye line while I was learning about millennials, while I was doing some research on millennials. And I thought, the dab. Let's learn about it, shall we? Here we go. Quick little video.
Memes. In today's lecture, we will be discussing the dab. The dab is a non-vocal expression of situational aptitude. The earliest examples of the dab are associated with ancient Egyptian culture. Here we see a hieroglyph that is believed to be a precursor to the dab. There is some debate over the exact meaning of this ideogram, but the most common consensus is that it stands for water jug. Given the drastic angular attitude of the dab, it is easy to see its Egyptian heritage. Fast forward several millennia to the 3rd century Babylonia, where tales and folklore depicted the Lilitu, or Lilith in Hebrew, meaning night creature. This mythical beast was described as a particularly buxom woman with an appetite for human blood. These tales form the groundwork for the contemporary folklore being the vampire, pale gaunt creatures that drink human blood. This harkens back to the original meaning of the ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs, referring to man as essentially a blood jug for vampires. The current connotation of the dab describes the achievable and inherent perfection of humans, or blood jugs. Da Vinci famously depicted man in his most desirable configuration in 1490 with his Vitruvian Man, depicted as strong, well-proportioned, and reasonably Caucasian. It is no surprise that modern Olympic athletes make use of the dab in their world record attempts. Perfection breeds perfection. In sum, the dab is an affirmation of one's inherent perfection, or an appraisal of the perfection in a completed task. It is sort of a signature to be undersigned to the letters written by greatness. Thank you for...
Alright, now that you got a little history lesson there, there's other stuff to learn about it, different people claims to fame. However, didn't care about that. Just wanted to know the basics. That was a cute video. Here we go! Let's check out some songs. Yeah, you know they sang about it. Because a dance move is complete without a song to go along. Here we go. This is by Marquise Trill.
You go like that.
Damn. Yeah. Holla. Yeah. Alright. Holla. Watch me do my dab. Watch me do my dab. Watch him do his dab. Watch him do his dab. Watch her do it dab. Watch her do it dab. I'm moving side to side. Don't mind her name. Holla. Yeah. Holla. Yeah. Holla. Yeah. Holla. Yeah. Watch me do my dab like I'm taking a nap. Getting money every day like I'm in the trap. This is not the whip, but this is how you rap. Watch me. I don't know what that is, but this is how you dab. Hey, what you doing, man? I call it rapping. Trill, what you doing, man? I call it dapping. She twerk to the beat, man. I call it clapping. Once I get on, I'ma make it happen. My dap is too clean and you cannot jack it. I'm ballin', I'm in my bracket. Watch me dap and disappear like it's magic. Oh, yeah, Beckham in the end zone. No, I'm dapping. Watch me do my dab. Watch me do my dab. Watch him do his dab. Watch him do his dab. Watch her do it dab. Watch her do it dab. I'm moving side to side. Don't mind her name. Holla. Yeah. Holla. Yeah. Holla. Yeah. Holla. Looking in their eyes, I can tell they mad. I got a lot of money. All I see is cash. I'm driving in the Chevy. Watch me hit the gas. Constant pull me over. Watch me hit my dad. I look good on camera, I should act. I see my homeboy and I gave him that. My bank account balance is full of racks. I dap in your city, you dap me back. I keep a bill on me like front of hat. My girl is so fine, man, that's a fact. My ex called my phone, I ain't call her back. I just went in my room and I hit my dad. Watch me do my dad. Watch me do my dad. Watch him do his dad. Watch him do his dad. Watch her do it there. Watch her do it there. I'm moving side to side. Don't mind her name. Holla. Yeah, 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 yeah. Holla. Yeah, 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 yeah. Holla. Yeah, 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 yeah. Holla. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Cute. That was a fun video. I'll show you a couple things before we move on. Let's see, we're going to pop in the middle first. Because I saw this thing here. Where is it? Where is you at? There you is. There you is. Look at this guy right here. He is a cutie.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What? What the hell is this? What is this? Is this a thing now? Is this a thing? We putting... I've not seen this in town. But if I did, I would be cracking my ass off. I just learned today these are called joggers. For yoga joggers. We called them hammer pants. They're called joggers now. Anyway, you learn all kinds of this. This was... He's cute too, though. I wouldn't mind if he showed up standing in my doorway. No clothes on. Keep the bandana. Keep the hat. The rest of it can go. That's nice. Anyway, found that cute. Other thing found cute. There's a couple points here. This is why I say this video is a little more female friendly. Isn't that right there? Not right there. Let me see. Where? Not. She's cute. I'm not saying that. And right here. Look at these. They're having a good time. There we are with the hat again. Get some shoelaces. What's going on? Nobody wants to wear shoelaces. All right. So anyway, right here. Look at these faces of these adorable little girls. Look at her. She is studying his moves. She is memorizing this shit. She wants to be a dancer. Look how cute they are, though. They're all looking at these guys. They are mesmerized. These girls up here, they're just hanging out. But the girls that are the dancers, the young ones, look at how cute they all are. They're just, their faces. They're loving this, right? His little face a few times. Go back and watch the video. I mean, just cute. Notice the millennial shirts. This little kid's got a millennial shirt. So does this guy. Right? Then we got our little girls dancing back here. Here we go. Look at these faces. They're loving it, man. That has got to have been fun. Did they just pick these girls up at like a dance studio? Like, did they know? That would be fun to know. Or were they in on it? Or was it like a surprise for them? Like a Christmas? Oh my God, you're going to meet the Marquis Trill. And they were like, what? They probably blew their shit. But that's cute. I love the effect. Now, if you're a dude, I just want to point something out.
Watch her do it there.
Where is it at? Where are them little girls out doing their thing?
Don't mind her name.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Wait, here, right
Do it
here.
there.
See these girls dancing?
Watch her do it there. I'm moving side to
Oh
side.
my.
Don't mind her name.
It's in here.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Holla. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
There we see
yeah,
him dancing.
yeah.
Oh, I know where it's at. I know where it's at.
Yeah,
It's in the
yeah.
beginning.
Watch her do it
Here
there. Watch her do it there.
Okay, first of all, I just want to point out, you don't see these as just kids who are super talented. And you look at these kids and you have disgusting thoughts.
Watch her do it there.
How
Watch her
cute.
do
Look
it
at this.
there. Watch her do it there.
If that little girl puts anything in your mind other than, what a cutie patootie, you're a sicko, Epstein, and you should stop it. Quit eating pizza. That video is adorable. I love everybody. Great video. So then, oh, I know. The other thing I want to point out, those little points to the end. Oh, and these guys at the end of the video where they're like chilling. They're having such a good time. Look how cute. They're just, yeah. The little girls, so cute. Okay, but there's one thing, the beginning of the video is what got my attention. And that's the fact
like that
we do these, the weather lady here. Then we got the Fox News. They're dabbing. The opening scene is of an old white woman dabbing. She did a pretty good job. So I thought, well, maybe the dab is a dance that white people can do. And not do too bad. So I had to check that out. Let's see how this guy can dab. Can he dab? Oh, yeah, he can.
Hold up.
Got a little nay-nay. There it is. That's right. He can dance. Surely, with another tab, I had to search it again. Because I thought, it can't be that easy. He made it look way too... I couldn't. If I tried to dab, you'd run. Maybe. I don't know. White men can't dab, dab, dab. With Twitch. Twitch is also a little cutie patootie. Let's see if he can teach some white guys to dab. They got some karate stuff going on here. Oh, I love it. He's going to salute. Yes! That's it. He loves this guy. He tried hard. That's right. So apparently, white people can't dab. There's another song about dabbing. This one's not so woman-friendly. Still fun to dance to, though. Check it out. Cars, women. Bitch, dab. Don't tell me what to do. That kind of sounded like a little Laffy Taffy in there. Do you hear that? Dunk, dunk, dunk. A Laffy Taffy. I'm not a good singer either. He's telling them bitches to dab. What? Don't dab too hard, though, man. I don't. He's putting the hand up. Listen to the hand. That booty. Anyway, if you like fast cars, flashy lights, and booty, this is your video. If you enjoy adorableness, cute guys, adorable kids, hats on your Johnson, this is your video. Let's move on. Dabbing. 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 I haven't heard it described this way, but here we go. An action of performing a dance move or gesture originating in the hip-hop and often done as part of a celebration. I bet they do. 'Cause soccer players, football players, basketball players, they celebrate the dab, in which one arm is bent at an angle across the chest, Egyptian pyramids, and the other is fully extended parallel to the first arm, pointing to the stars, and the face towards the bent elbow. Dabbing. Let's see. Dabbing. How do you say that?
Dabbing.
Dabbing. You hear that?
Dabbing.
Dabbing. Let's learn it. Dabbing.
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 Say it with us now. How did they say it in the UK?
Dabbing. Dabbing.
That sounds like fun. Did you know that there was a double dab? I double dare you to double dab. Double down on it. Double dab. The action of dabbing with both arms in an X formation. They're double dabbing. Right? It's an awesome thing to do with your friends. Whoa, they just did a double dab, man. We're so impressed. SpongeBob's dabbing. Oh, look at this meme. When your teacher says, "What's a dab?" Okay, boomer. Anyway, a double shot, a double dab will do ya. A dollop will do ya. Well, you thought you were the first one to think of a dab. Maybe you were, maybe you weren't, but they took that because they like to take everything and turn it into relevant uses for today. Let's destroy old bacteria. That's what dab means, not cover your mouth. Ew. I thought this was interesting. So I was like, that's cool. Look here, CDC's dabbing. CDC be dabbing. You dabbing? Dabbing. So I thought, well, yeah. Sure, sneezing in your arm, that's what kids were taught to do somewhere in the 80s. 90s. It was later than that, 'cause, man, we just spewed. Of course we did. Here we go. You ever heard of this guy? He's going to tell you a little bit about germs. Sure.
Well, radio, in Brewster City. This one's especially for me. It's Slim Goodbody and the Heartthrob singing Achoo. When dust or germs out in the air get into your nose, a small explosion blasts them out, and here's the way it goes. Achoo! When you sneeze, don't sneeze on me. Don't sneeze on anyone you see. Use your hanky to block the breeze when you have to sneeze. Now if you've got a nasty cold or an allergy, make sure you keep some tissues near so you don't sneeze on me. No! When you sneeze, don't sneeze on me. Don't sneeze on anyone you see. Use a tissue to block the breeze when you have to sneeze.
Think we could get away with a kids program like that today? Only if it had pepperoni on it. And I love Slim Goodbody. All right. So, yeah, we used to use hankies. We used to use Kleenex and handkerchiefs when we sneezed. Why are we sneezing in our sleeves now? I wanted to know why. What happens here? What happened? Well, I did a little history on it. I'm about to tell you. Look at here. Man-sized sneezes. Don't tear it. Huh? It's even stronger when it's wet. Holds that snooties. Old advertisement there for the Scotties man-sized sneezes. So we used to use tissues. What we got here? Thought this was an interesting article. Mom's coughing method is so 20th century. Wasn't something new. Nah. Right? This old coughing method of coughing into your sleeve. 1988, Gojo Industries of Akron, Ohio started selling Purell, the hand sanitizer. What happened when we started doing that? Well, we snopped. We snotted. We stopped. We stopped using tissues. You know why? Tissues were never around. That's why it didn't live long. Because we lost the hanky, which you kept in your pocket. And then we went to tissues, which you had to find. Who has a tissue? Remember at church? Who has a tissue? Anybody got a tissue? But if you were crying, there are always tissues at church were at the front on the stage. Remember? You had to sneeze. You had to wait till it was time to lay down before the feet of Jesus. Anyway, and that advice about catching a cold or a sneeze in your hand, history. No, because we got disinfectant gels. So today, Public health officials are trying to contain the spread of swine flu. Swine flu? How come the pig? We don't just say the flu. Why are we just not saying the spread of germs, the flu? But the pigs get the flu first, then the birds get it. It's been reminding us frequently to cough into your arm. That's what Illinois wants you to do. Got any ideas why? What were we told when we were kids? You got to remember that up until the 1960s, people were deliberately inhaling smoke and didn't realize it was dangerous. Yeah, because we're smokers. But we were also deliberately inhaling germs, apparently. The cough pocket. Use the crease of your elbow which is tissueless, so you don't expel your germ-laden droplets. So now you know why we're doing it in our arms, because at some point we lost the hanky, we sneezed into tissues, and then we said, we need to go back to something. This isn't working. Do it in your elbow. Really? We're sneezing. Look at this. Look at this. Sneezy, sneeze, sneeze. Here's what I found interesting. I have to look into sneezes now. Started dabbing, now we're sneezing. Now we're dabbing our noses. Ministry of Health says coughs and sneezes spread diseases. Trap the germs by using your handkerchief. Help keep the nation fighting fit. You know, this is an interesting comment. Help to keep the nation fighting. This is an intentional. It's pun intended, is what that is. You know why? Because look here in this picture. This is an advertisement from during the war. They got the women now making the missiles and the bullets and stuff for the soldiers, because the soldiers are all off fighting. The ladies are there playing baseball and making bombs. Trap your germs. Don't spread them to your coworkers. You know why? We need them to show up for work so we have enough bullets to shoot the bad guys. Guess what? Those countries were doing it too. You damn straight they were. Let's see. The handkerchief. Now I'm curious. When did it go out of fashion for every man to have at least one? My grandpa had a handkerchief. Now we're wearing them in suit pockets as a pocket square. But they used to actually be useful. Here's what I found interesting. The handkerchief was blown away by the Kleenex tissue. See? We just learned that. See how that timeline happens? We got tissues now, disposable hankies. Hanks, Chiefs. Tom Hanks has some handkerchiefs you can buy on Amazon. Right? Hank Chiefs. He's bypassing the tissues. So we got Kleenex tissues popping in, and now we're in the 1930s. It's a really interesting decade for the stylish piece of cloth. See, now we have tissues, so we can actually take the handkerchief, and instead of getting rid of it, we classed it up for you. We classed it up for you and made it fancy. What's that guy that does the Family Feud, has his own talk show? Can't remember his name now. I'll think of it. Anyway, he sells them too. He sells matching ties and pocket squares. He's very stylish. What happened in the 1940s? 1940s. Well, guess what? In the 1930s, we were having the Great Depression. Schools were shutting down. So when the war was over in the 1940s, schools, everybody's boinking and making babies. So the schools come back into fashion, and of course now there's more kids than ever. So what's happening? That's right, kids are getting sick. That's why we're making Perel. Antibacterial. Huh? See the timeline? How it works there? Now we're in school. What were kids doing? They'd sneeze out in the air, spread their germs. Everybody's getting sick. But people got sick. That's how it was back then. Sneeze into their hands, we tell them. They just sneeze into their hands and then wipe that loogie on their pants. Or on the back of their friend. They're feeling froggy. So we have to do something. I know. We'll sneeze in our sleeves. Sure. Let's do it. So you see what happened. We got a whole bunch of kids in school. We got to come up with another way, because if one kid in a small town gets sick at a public school, I bet a lot of kids got sick. Of course, back then, you either stayed home or you went to school sick. Right? A lot of moms were working it. Shortly after this, women started working. Not quite yet. They would stayed back home. Kids could stay home. They didn't have to go to school, hooked up on medicine, make their temperature go away so nobody can notice. Parents are turds as they got older. I'm glad I'm not part of that generation. I was a latchkey kid, but I'm just saying, that's the point. I had to go to school and my parents weren't awake or weren't home when I went to school, and I walked. There's no place to hide them germs. The new secret terror threatens the human race. It's a 1956 first biological germ warfare thriller. Look at this. Science had warned from this new thing. A laboratory vial, there will be no escape. Resident Evil, T-virus, maybe. Let's keep going. Oh, look. Let's look at some vintage photographs of people sneezing. Thought I'd check that out, and then I came across this. Victorians proven they weren't as serious as we thought. No, they like to have fun too. The Victorians did, outside their seances that they took very seriously. There were other times. They like to let loose, and apparently, according to this photograph, either they're doing the Thriller or they're dabbing Victorian style. Let's move on. What's this about? Oh, you thought dabbing was just for dancing. Because some people say the dab originated from cannabis. So let's check it out. Today, dab seems to be very popular, I'm reading. But guess what? You aren't new. Cannabis concentrates have said to have been around in some form since the 1940s. They were dabbing in the 40s. They were probably still swinging. No, that came later, didn't it? No, I don't know. The 40s. I'm thinking of adapting from the 20th century botanical extract technologies, pre-20th century, that are responsible for bringing cannabis to the U.S. pharmacopoeia throughout the 1800s. You didn't know it'd been around that long. You think you're voting on it like it's some new thing. I'll have to show you that history too. Of course, if you're a weed head, you probably already know. Used to not be that big of a deal. Till Kellogg. Don't want you having sex. Don't want you doing drugs. All drugs are bad. Unless we sell them to you. Anyway, you didn't know that. It's also linked to World War II and, what's this word? You see this in the news a lot. MK Ultra. Cloning. We're cloning Hillarys left and right, man. They're popping out of nowhere. Every time I see the news, new Hillary. Anyway, here you go. You didn't know this stuff. Concentrates were in fact used. Thousands of years, it says. And the first vaporization appeared in the 1940s. They were vaping in the 40s. If they were vaping in the 40s, they must have had something we don't have no more, because they allowed it to come back. So people must not have been dying from it back then. I don't know. Anyway, hashtag oils in the 70s. Looks like an egg. Or honey. Or sap. Right? So that stuff, maybe there's a dinosaur in there. Some mosquito. In the amber. Thought that was interesting anyway. Dabs aren't new. We might not have been doing them these fancy things. We've been dabbing. Let's see. Dabbing drugs. Oh yeah. Dabs or dabbing are the names for the use of concentrated butane hash oil. It is a relatively new method. See, it's a new method of administrating, ingesting cannabis. Blah, blah, blah. I would like to say, though, don't think that I am encouraging such behaviors. I think you should be extremely careful, even if you are a weed smoker, because if you don't already know, the THC levels today aren't anything like they were before. Did you know it was dangerous to dab? Well, it is. In fact, dabbing can be dangerous in a number of ways. Adverse health effects. Dabbing can lead to rapid heartbeat, blackouts, psychosis, paranoia, and hallucinations, as well as accidents and falls. Some are so concerned about the potential for abuse posed by a drug that delivers such things. Don't want us doing these things. This is bad. The HuffPost or Huffington Post, pun intended. Maybe not there. I know something else. Leads to a rapid heartbeat, blackouts, psychosis, paranoia, and hallucination, as well as accidents and falls. Wonder what that could be. Could it be alcohol? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Hillary and Hoda, or what's her name? Hoda and, I don't even know. See, I haven't watched like TV in so long, like normal stuff, but literally as I'm doing these, I know the references, but I don't remember their names anymore because they mean nothing. Or is there Kathy Lee and Hoda? See, I had to remember Regis and Kathy Lee. That's how my mind chains things. I'm a chainer. I'm chaining things for you right now because I bet you didn't know that dabbing is so dangerous. We got to stop it. But that's only because we don't make as much money off of it. Whoop, whoop. Alcohol gives us traffic tickets, court costs, new cars, lawyer fees, government, blah, 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 blah. Connect the dots. But you can't create alcohol in your backyard quite as easy as you could a couple weed plants. That's just truth. And so because of that, they can't control it and they can't make money off of it. So a couple of hippies down the road have 2 or 3 plants they grow. They can't make no money off you. They can't suck you because you don't leave your house when you're smoking weed, right? So they're not getting any accidents, they're not getting any insurance and this, that, and the other. You're not out in the stores buying it. So they're not getting any taxes off of it. Think about it. One more and then I'm going to leave you because there are some dangers of dabbing we should all be known about. We should all understand. And here it is. The dangers of dabbing. Let's check it out. What's he going to do?
No, but I have heard some other ones. Oh.
Don't dab unless you're high on dabs. Otherwise, you might fall off. Have a good day. See you on the flip side.